Hey there, YouTube land, and tonight, to continue on with Criterion Month, I actually got a couple Criterions from a friend of mine, someone that I didn't have, and decided I'd do a double feature review. So we watched two Criterions tonight. We watched Wes Anderson's The Darjeeling Limited, and we watched Stephen Hawking's A Brief History of Time. Uh, Starting it with the Wes Anderson film. I noticed that recently a lot of people have been buying a lot of Wes Anderson stuff. I'm guessing that the Criterion sale kind of coincided with Grand Budapest and got a lot of people on Wes Anderson kick. And that's not a bad thing because Wes Anderson is a very kind of cool, quirky director. He's not for everybody, but I think that everybody can find at least one Wes Anderson film that they can enjoy. And it's really nice to know they did stuff like the Fantastic Mr. Fox that can be enjoyed by all different ages. We watched the Darjeeling Limited tonight, and it was a fun film. It was neat. There's a neat little part for Bill Murray in there, and it was just kind of cute the way it was done. But this one starred three brothers played by Adrian Brody, Owen Wilson, and Jason Schwartzman. The film itself was written by Wes Anderson, Jason Schwartzman, and Roman Coppola. Uh, Roman Coppola and Schwartzman, of course, are related, and directed by Anderson. The film is basically about three brothers who have gotten together for the first time in about, I think, about a year or so since their father passed on, and they're all in very different places in their life. And I think the oldest brother, Owen Wilson, he's had an accident, and he wants to bring his brothers together. And what he tells them at first is he wants to go on this trip, and that's going to like bring them closer together and kind of do a spiritual journey. It's a movie in some ways about uh, finding yourself, but in that saying that, it's also a movie very much about losing yourself in equal amounts, and how that's not always a bad thing. They talk a lot about well, the Owen Wilson character especially talks a lot about the mother, the absentee mother who did not show up at the funeral, and basically we find out over a period of time that the mother, played by Angelica Houston, will be is who they're basically who he's searching for. And he's brought the brothers along, and they're not happy about that. They're not happy with their mother for not showing up at their father's funeral. And the mother has been pretty much known as being kind of an absentee mother. She always takes off, and now she's a nun, and they're gonna find her all Black Narcissus style. Uh, I gotta say, it was really, it's typical Wes Anderson, really quirky, broken family relationships. If you know Wes Anderson's history, you know why that's a big thing in a lot of his films. And there's just some really great stuff in this movie. The writing is very smart, humor is very quirky, and the way that he shoots the film, just like when you're watching any Wes Anderson film, just watch the use of the camera and the camera styles, like how he effortlessly he tracks his shots, and especially when like going from person to person, the way he goes from like using like a camera, like a steady camera, to like a to a handheld for certain scenes. It's just brilliantly put together, and so well executed. Wes Anderson is a fantastic director. He is the king of what he does. I don't think there's anybody that can do Wes Anderson better than Wes Anderson. And the Darjeeling Limited is one that really deserves to be discovered. There is some great work in this film, some great actors, and some very humorous scenes that you got to see. And there's some touching scenes as well. It's Adrian Brody, for me, took like a lot of the. He seemed like an interesting character. And with Wes Anderson, if you watch much of his work, you'll realize that his characters don't, even though it seems like they're talking a lot. They don't really have to say a lot to get across what needs to be conveyed. A lot of Wes Anderson's style of filmmaking is done in a basically it's in the face, in the looks that don't seem to be showing anything, but are actually showing a hell of a lot. And Darjeeling Limited does this brilliantly and almost parodies it in a scene without talking, uh, which was genius. There's some great stuff in this film, some extremely great stuff. And if you are a Wes Anderson fan, say for instance you went up and picked out Life Aquatic, and maybe you got Fantastic Mr. Fox because it's got that really cool case, which I got up there as well. Definitely, the Darjeeling Limited belongs in your Criterion collection. Now, I can recommend almost any Wes Anderson film, but this for me is one of the greats. Everybody has their own favorite and Wes Anderson film, the way everybody has their own favorite Hitchcock, their own favorite. You know, well, of all the great directors, everybody has their own personal favorite. Wes Anderson resonates with me in many ways, not just in the stories that he writes, but in the way that he films, the way that he shoots things, and the music that he chooses. Darjeeling Limited is very different in the style of music that he normally chooses, and there's some great songs actually, and of course it's the Rolling Stones because that tends to be like a staple of Wes Anderson's films. But there's some really great stuff in here. You would be remiss to at least pass up checking out this film. I'm not sure if it's on Hulu Plus or not right now, but if it is, definitely give it a watch, or if it's on Netflix, and decide for yourself if the Darjeeling Limited belongs in your collection. For me, the answer is yes. It's definitely something I'm going to get down the road. Maybe the November sale, I'll just do like I did with the Arrow sale. I got all the Brian De Palmas that I didn't have. Maybe I'll go and just grab all the Wes Andersons I don't have. So that one definitely is it's a perfect score for me. Now, the second film we watched was very different because we wanted to have two films that were pretty much polar opposites. You don't watch Wes Anderson and watch Wes Anderson again. The overdose on just a little too much quirky on one night. And that's not the way to do it, especially when you're doing films and you're doing double features. One of the rookie mistakes for double features in a lot of cases is that people will pick films that are really similar. And what I find personally is that when you're doing a double feature of something, it's often, and you're not like doing a marathon or a franchise thing or something like that. It's often best to pick films that can polar opposite each other, so that you almost get it's like anything, like wine tasting or anything like that, where you clean the palate and taste something extremely fresh. So, and that's the way I take my film. I guess as Logan Toxie would say, being a film connoisseur. We enjoyed a brief history of a brief history of time, brief history of space and time. What is the exact title for that? Because I don't have the disc here right now. But I should know that because I read the book. Okay, let's get it up here. Brief history of time. Perfect. And basically, it's the story of Stephen Hawking, and it's not just the story of Stephen Hawking, which is fantastic as is, and he's an amazing physicist, probably the greatest mind of our time that we are ever going to come across, and it's just amazing to see the physical limitations not stop this amazing mind, and the way that he talks about such complex theories and breaks it down into palatable for anyone to really sit back and listen to. The story itself, the documentary, is engaging. You learn a lot about Hawking himself. You learn a lot about what the man was like before this crippling disability, but how he wasn't supposed to make it. We learn what kind of guy that he was and how he's a bit of a slacker, but he was always had this stroke of genius. But his family was kind of a strange, different family, and we learn some theories as we go along. We learn about the his theories on the black hole. We learn uh, about imaginary time and his theory on the Big Crunch and what his thoughts on the possibility of the Big Bang are. I'm not going to give away everything because I really think, just like the Darjeeling Limited, this is another film that really deserves to be discovered and everybody should really check out. The book is quite the, you know, I love the book, but not everybody's down for reading it. But definitely, really check this film out. It's a fantastic film, and does some great concepts, and it does it really well. Earl Morris, who directed the film, does an amazing job of putting together a solid documentary. With not, you would think that this could be, if you're not into science or this could get pretty dry and pretty boring. And that's the genius of this thing, is that it doesn't get dry and boring, and it comes out in such a way that it's an interesting watch, and it's something that you can definitely rewatch. You can't say that about every sciencey documentary that you watch. There's some that can be pretty dry. This one isn't. This one is a solid one all the way through, and definitely is one that's going to be in my collection. It's an incredible film about a man with an incredible mind that didn't let any type of limitation stop him. And it's inspiring, it's amazing, and it's educational to all hell. So if you really want to get something out of some of this stuff, definitely check out Stephen Hawking's Brief History of Time. It's an incredible film, and I would recommend, like, if you're interested in wanting to follow up, to just check out some of the work that Stephen Hawking has wrote. Check out some of the other stuff that he's done. But Brief History of Time, at least, please check this out. It's a fantastic film. Whether you see it on Hulu Plus or you end up picking it up, if it's not your thing to own, give it at least one watch. It's the type of film that deserves to be discovered. And I'm guessing a lot of people here have seen it or picked it up this time around. Same with Darjeeling Limited, because a lot of people are picking up a lot of Wes Anderson stuff. So again, Brief History of Time gets another perfect score for me. Criterion, he knocked it out of the park with these two. I didn't get the chance to check out the features. We just sat down, we watched the movies here, and they're not here now, so we didn't get a chance to watch features. That was kind of good, because we wanted to watch the movies to make sure that these were movies that that we're going to own, and we want to own them before we check out the features. We kind of want to do that ourselves. It's like that little thing, like we can watch the movie, but when we realize it's something that we want to own, we don't want to see the features until we actually have the movie in our collection. It's kind of it's like, I don't know, a treasure, a bonus, a candy, a high five type thing, self high five. If you get that reference, you're awesome, and you watch WCW back in the 90s. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Happy Criterion Month, guys. I really hope that you're enjoying these. I've been trying to get as much Criterion reviews and information as possible, so that basically, although I can only get a few this month, I wanted to help everybody else that's looking around and trying to like decide what they want to get on their Criterion thing. And I wanted to kind of like diversify the channel up a bit with the Criterion Month, so that there's a little bit for everybody. So if you're not into the documentaries, you might be into Wes Anderson. If you're not into Wes Anderson, maybe you're into one of the other ones that I recommended earlier. So enjoy Criterion Month anyway. Rambling on enough now. Thanks for watching, guys. And for me right now, it's definitely time for tea. Criterion Month only comes twice a year.